Good day, students! How are you doing? Well, I'm sure you're doing great. I would like to welcome you all to 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world for Quarter 1, Module 4. Today's lesson is entitled Tech Literary. I can read, I can write. I will be your presenter, Nahur Hasan from Cruz National High School. So now, join me for another learning. Allow me to present to you the most essential learning competency of this lesson. That is, to produce a creative representation of a literary text by applying multimedia and ICT skills. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to first, produce a creative representation of a literary text by applying multimedia skills. Second, choose an appropriate multimedia format in interpreting a literary text. And third, apply ICT skills in crafting an adaptation of a literary text. And now, let us start this lesson with Let Us Try. Students, for Task 1, Techie E-Tech. Are you familiar with these symbols and logos? Name them, one by one. For numbers 4, 5, and 6, identify and name these logos. For 7, 8, and 9, continue identifying and naming these logos. Here are the answers for Task 1. We have Facebook, Instagram, Skype, Twitter, YouTube, WeChat, Android, Wattpad, and PowerPoint. To formally start, let's have Let Us Study. Our literature has developed from a period of print to multimedia. Fiction stories and poems in the 21st century have evolved in terms of media. We read not only using printed media, but also from online sources and various computer and cell phone applications. There is change in reading and writing due to the birth of hypertext and ebook. Now, what is a hypertext? Hypertext is a text which provides a network of links to other texts that are beyond, outside, and above itself. It makes possible dynamic organization of information through links and connections. Hypertext is therefore properly described as multi-sequential or multilinear writing. Next is ebook. Short for electronic book, ebook is the digital media equivalent of a conventional printed book. Text can be searched automatically and cross-referenced using hyperlinks, making the ebook format ideal for reading and learning that benefit from such functions. It can include pictures and even sound clips and video or animated graphics. And then we have a blog. It is a shortened version of the term weblog. It refers to regularly updated journal on the internet. Blog with double L is coined by John Barger in 1997 and then shortened to blog with single L by Peter Merholz in 1999. On the other hand, a blogger is a term used to describe the person who posts blog. Since we have defined what is a hypertext, an ebook, and a blog, you can now get a sheet of paper and a ball pen to answer these guide questions. Let's start with number 1. Do you have a social media account or accounts? List them here. Number 2. How do you use these social media accounts? Do you regularly post? Why? And number 3, what is the importance of social media to you? Next is task 2, free blog. Read the blog on your module from page 8 to 11 and answer the questions that follow. The title of the blog is I Will Never Pursue You by Anne Luna, written on August 11, 2014. So, what do you think of Anne Luna's poem? Since you're done reading and analyzing the said poem, you can now answer these guide questions. Let's start with number 1. What is being referred to in this poem? Number 2. How did the author try to prohibit herself from pursuing to something she liked? And last is number 3. What message does Anne Luna wants to tell to the youth? Alright, let's proceed with task 3, trap poetry. Another poetry that could be read in another modality is textula. This traces its origin to the traditional Tagalog form of poetry called tanaga, which consists of 4 lines with 7 syllables each, which would vary in terms of rhyme scheme. As I mentioned earlier, a textula could vary based on the rhyme scheme. Here are the 4 basic rhyme schemes with their respective patterns. First, the basic with AA pattern. Second, enclosed with BA pattern. Third, alternative with AB pattern. And fourth, sunuran with BB pattern. Here is an example of a textula entitled Politiko ni Atilia Roma. Read it with me. Ay, walang kapagurang pagngasab at pagdaldal. Labis pang tumatakaw ang baboy sa labangan. Based on what we have read, try to write your own translation of the textula. Use the template below. After translating the textula, you answer these questions. Number 1. Do you agree with how the author described the politicians? Why? Number 2. What are the qualities of a politician being expressed in the textula? This time, let's talk about photographic essay. This genre is a series of pictures or images that stimulates emotions, expresses a thought, and even narrates or tells a story. This is another literature with the use of multimedia. For another task, task 4, caption me. Look at the pictures below and try to come up with your own title and 1-sentence caption. Look at these images and caption them. And for the last one, caption this image. The pictures shown in task 4 tell one story of Philippine rituals and traditions. Since we have defined what is a photographic essay, let us also know the things to be considered in making one. First, story. Photo essay expresses a central message or tells a story. Next is range of photos. In a photo essay, there may be some wide-angle shots, some detailed, some portraits or aerial perspective. Third, order of the photos. The chronological arrangement of photos is very important in conveying message to the audience. Fourth, information and emotion. Pictures will provide information to convey context and effectively evoke emotions. Fifth and last, captions. These are words chosen with images to provide meaning. You already know the things to be considered in making a photographic essay. Now, let's have task 5. Sounds good. Answer the question. Can you identify the rhyme scheme of the following text tula? For number 1, entitled Ngiti. Ngiti ay kanyang dala. Saya ay bigay niya. Lahat ng kakilala, yan ang tingin sa kanya. Number 2, masaya. 8 bata sa bahay, merong nanay at tatay. Wala masyadong pera, pero kami masaya. Let us also know how a rhyme scheme is being identified. Rhyme scheme is being identified by determining the end sound and assigning big letters from A to D for each line. Now that you already know what is a rhyme scheme and how it is being identified, you can now answer this question. What are the rhyming words in each text tula? For the text tula ngiti and for the text tula masaya. This is still in connection with text tula and rhyme scheme. Task 6, my tale, my poem. Inside the circles, write your text tula with AA, AA, and AA, BB rhyme schemes about the given subject. First subject, kabataan. Second subject, pag-ibig. Let us practice. Under let us practice is task 7, text now or tomorrow. Students, you have to make a text tula following the rubrics that will be presented after this one. Send your text tula via SMS messaging to 5 of your friends. Your output for task 7 will be evaluated using this rubric based on the following criteria: organization, word choice and main idea, and lastly, spelling. To strengthen your knowledge, let us practice more. And now for task 8, e-poem. Write a poem about your love for someone. Record yourself as you read your self-made poem using various multimedia applications. Post your video on your Facebook page or social media platform assigned by your teacher. This rubric will be used in grading your output for task 8. The criteria are the following: creativity, storytelling, writing, and photography. Now, let us remember some important points of the module. Read it with me. First is hypertext. It is simply a text that directs readers to another link. It refers to keywords that are usually represented by blue type and displays the information of the subject of interest when clicked or hover upon. Next, ebook is short term for electronic book, a book publication made available in digital form consisting of text and images. Ebooks can be read using the e-reader devices like smartphones, tablets, and computers. And lastly, the rhyme scheme. This refers to the pattern of sounds at the end of each line of the poem. Here in the Philippines, text tula, originated from Tanaga, follows different rhyme scheme. Here are the different patterns for each rhyme scheme. We have number 1, A, 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 or the basic scheme. 2, A, B, B, A, or the enclosed scheme. 3, A, B, B, or the sunuran scheme. 4, A, B, A, B, or the alternate scheme. For free verse poems, rhyme scheme is not determined. Okay, that's it. Always remember those important points of the lesson. Now, let us proceed with Let Us Assess. This time, you have to use your analytical skills. For Task 9M Online, you have to read a blog entitled You Are Not Your Facebook Profile by Ann Luna on your module from page 19 to 20 and make your analysis. Write your analysis and post it on your Facebook timeline as your blog. Done reading and analyzing? Okay, let's go to Let Us Enhance. For the last task of this module, Task 10, Technologie. Capture 3 pictures that will describe technology in our life. Be sure to give it a title and caption for each picture. Make at least a 1-minute video presentation of your captured images. In evaluating your video presentation for Task 10, this rubric will be utilized. Be guided by the following criteria: creativity, storytelling, writing, and photography. Now, read the passage about multimedia on page 22 and reflect. Thank you for your time. I hope I was able to impart important lessons in this session. Once again, I am teacher Nahur Hasan.